Real quick, we're going to go into the bRRAIN mega parser, and just want to show you real quick. This over here is you shrink down your console menu, and you look at your extensions, and you have to have these extensions installed from the marketplace. I'm not going to go there right now. We're going to go into our mega parser. I want to show you. So the mega parser is meant to parse very complicated files. Right now, we're working on the files here. Um, There we go. We'll let it load over here in the left-hand corner, the actual file, and then our actual parsing here. Now, here you can see, like at the top, we've created a standard here in order to parse the files, and we're parsing with Claude's API from Russian into English. These old files, we hit a limit, and the reason we hit a limit is because we were hitting the Claude Sonnet limit as we did the reparse. We have our instruction files here that we're using to give the LLM instructions on how to ingest everything. But of course, it's just too much. It's a really detailed thing because we're not just grabbing the information. The mega parser grabs the information, but then also lets you dictate how the information is then parsed back in. And then it lets you set a standard for that parsing so you can build a parsing agent. And then once you build the parsing agent, you can use it outside of the mega parser in order to parse like tons and tons of files through any LLM that you possibly can. So it just basically lets you set a standard and set instructions. And then you can also run versions of any of the documents and then go back and see the versions of those documents as you ran them through in order to view your notes and everything else. And like example, with this document here, we can go inside of this version right here. So if you go inside the version, you get to, let's go back. That's a more data version. So let's look here. If you go inside the version from before, you might not be happy with just a straightforward like translation. Like for example, I want tables, I want additional information, I want such and such. So I can go in and I can always choose something inside of the document. And then once I choose it, over here, you'll see it generates a space area. So multiple space should result in a return line. Advice area, I can then add like this. You'll see it's keeping the um, area of the page. It's anchoring it, and then I can add a note, and then from the note, I can create an instruction files. And the instruction files, like I said, are agents. However, you might also run into the issue of running into limits and then using expensive credits for the LLM. And that's what I want to show you right now. So we have another plugin, an extension called LLM Ops. And LLM Ops, we can just basically, if we start to run that problem, we can spin up temporarily our own um, LLM just for this purpose, and then we can just drop it. So in this case, I did a search, and it told me that Quinn, with 35 billion parameters here, uncensored, different versions of Quinn would be best to use. So I am gonna go in here and expand, take a look at what Quinn is, and then I'm going to deploy the model. Now it'll give me 6 options. You would think that this is the cheap thing to do, 69 hour, but I only need it for like half an hour. So I'm willing to spend $3. So why not pick the fastest possible model I can, or either a premium model, and I'm going to run either this fast model or premium model, and then deploy it on there. I've already started deployment, so I deploy it on there and I immediately get the full power of this really big model dedicated with no limit. And instead of running up 10, 20, 30, $40 worth of Claude credits, trying to use half an hour and shoving tons of files and keep hitting their 10 megabyte limit when it comes to files and stuff like that. No, instead I can use unlimited files, unlimited everything else, and use a full version of the LLM, and then whatever product comes from it, which you'll notice, I'm going to go in document portal so you can see, whatever comes from this and whatever I develop from it. Let's look here in the vault under agents, and you'll see our mega parser instructions. We'll save right here inside of my brain. So regardless, I still have everything that I need, and I'm not going to go too far into this, but there you go. So everything that I did, that work that I got out of it, all the work for the LLM is just automatically saved. And I just took advantage of this huge LLM to get things done. And over here, what it does is it drops itself inside their LLM registry. And the LLM registry has all of it, so I can put my commercial versions, I can put my self-hosted versions. I've got green lights on those, so they're ready to go. And then I can just go back over here in the document parser and start using that right away. And the APIs on all of those LLMs are open. So even if I need it for external use or for a different program or for something else, I could have spun it up. And then, like I said, just right here at the end, it's good to spin it down because say, okay, I don't want to pay for it anymore. I've got it up. I used it. Thank you. I don't want to pay for it anymore. I'm done. That's pretty cool.